Drum roll, please. The results are in. I've done a poll and all of you guys voted. This video is dedicated to you viewers and your thought process on the Los Angeles Lakers and their plans for this season. Let's bring it up. Oh, wait. Before I bring up the poll, I am your NBA white guy. I talk all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective. And if you like that kind of content and you also want your opinion to be brought up, that's what I do on this channel. So make sure that you're always tapping that subscribe button and you click the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. Now, you guys kind of killed me in the comments of like clickbaity titles. The problem with YouTube and you guys is you guys don't watch any other content that I put out unless it's got that. So it's your job to make sure that you're liking the videos and always commenting so that we can do normal hoop videos because I love talking it. All right, here we go. We brought in a poll to you guys. I'm going to be doing lots of these polls, and here it is. What's up, Hoopers? What do you think the Lakers are going to do with Westbrook? A, trade it to Indiana. B, trade to Utah. C, nada. Well, overwhelmingly, it seems like a trade to Indiana is maybe what they're going to do, or is it more, this is what I would want them to do? So that's the first comment that I need down below is, do you truly feel like the Indiana Pacers trade is exactly like the most viable option for the Lakers right now and the top choice? Or is it your top choice? I think for me personally, it could bring in massive value to the team. But C is also something where nothing could happen. And I have been shooting videos on this topic. Look, you know, Darvin Ham's come out multiple times, said he's excited to coach Russ. This is also something that Mark Stein brought up the other day, that Westbrook and Beverly have already been in contact. So look, these dudes could be talking. We all know that Pat Bev just wants to win. I love hearing that out of him a month or two ago when he said he wanted to be a Laker, which I think he already knew he was going to be a Laker. And 2 weeks before the trade, he was talking about being a Laker. So look, these are things that they knew. And now that they're having conversations and Pat Bev just wants to win, he's going to bring a new energy to this locker room. And the number one thing that you got to have when you have a coach trying to earn the respect in the locker room, you got to have vets and you got to have dogs who believe in you. And I think Pat Bev can do that. So if you're Darvin Ham, you need to be going hard in the paint, basketball term, no pun intended, on getting obviously LeBron excited about playing some defense, which I don't know, but getting Pat Bev to get into this team and obviously making it work with Westbrook. So first and foremost, the first thing that you guys voted on was the Indiana Pacers trade. Now this would be very exciting if they could somehow nab these dudes for just one pick, but I don't think Indiana's in any kind of rush right now to get rid of those picks. They may be thinking, you know what, we can go to the deadline more and see which one of these playoff teams really needs some star players or some good role players like a Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, and trade them. I did a video on free agents that are available, and the scary thing that's coming up in a lot of these trades is all of these dudes are free agents next year. So that's something that you have to weigh in, right? One is you're going to trade your draft capital for a dude who can leave next year. And you might be saying, well, yeah, the good news is we're going to be off of that contract and we can get more cap space. Yes, it's a double-edged sword, but you just gave away your 2 draft picks. So this is something that if Pat Bev and Russell Westbrook can make this thing work, turn out to be absolute dogs and defensive machines and run the fast break and actually get a lot of momentum, be the quickest team in the NBA, then this is something that could be scary. You hold those draft picks and you really can make noise next season. But I've also had the opinion of, yo, homies, it's LeBron's 20th season. He ain't got a lot of seasons for us to be sparing. So we also got to try and make something happen this year so they can be title contenders. Because I'm telling you right now, when you watch NBA and you watch these basketball players and you watch them into the postseason, you can tell who's going to win or not. You can really look at this team. I look at, you know, young teams like the Grizzlies and even the Jazz back in the day when they would get in there, and you could just tell, like, man, they just don't have that, like, that vet power, and they're really relying heavily on these young studded stars who always seem to just get little tweaks, injuries, and they get exhausted. Like towards the end of the game in the series, they got no gas left in their tank, and this is something that LeBron has been able to just keep that steady foot on the gas. And when they had the Phoenix Suns in the bubble with Anthony Davis healthy, they were toying with them. It was like the most lopsided series, and the Phoenix Suns went to the finals that year. So I'm telling you right now, it looks like it was a first round sweep, but if AD stays healthy during that, they beat the Suns, they go to the finals. I guarantee it. You comment down below if you think differently, but if the Suns made it in the first 2 games, 3 games, literally LeBron was dancing and toying with them on the sideline, going up and under scoops, like it was too easy. That's what we got to do. We just got to get to the postseason. So if Westbrook and if Pat Bev, if they can make this thing work, and this is what I see working, right? The problem with the Lakers last season was that they would get the ball out of the basket and they would try and get it to Russ, and Russ was throwing it up ahead and he was throwing it into the stands and it was terrible. Russ, you're the fastest human I've ever seen. You're the most athletic point guard I've ever seen. Get your butt running down the court. You got LeBron who can palm that basketball and throw it like 400 yards. So you need to get your butt going and running. That's the point guard. You got Pat Bev playing D now. He's going to play the best player. He's going to be guarding the point guard. He will be taking that role on. You, if any rebound goes long, if any kind of tip ball goes, you get on your horse and you run and you go fast break. If the other team makes the basket, get the ball out and go. Get it to an outlet, cut to the middle, get the ball and go, or fill lanes, whatever. But you've got to, with a small backcourt like this, I really enjoyed watching like the John Wall and Bradley Beal. They were tiny, but they were walking buckets. I mean, they would both have nights of 30 points, but they were moving. You ever watch John Wall in his prime? I don't know what he could be a scary player for the Clippers this year. That is really scary because he is so lightning quick and the dude can finish at the rim and he can, oh man, that's a good backcourt. So again, you're never going to get the buckets that those two dudes had, but if you watch a backcourt like that, they're flying. They're getting their hands in the paint. They're getting steals, tip balls, and they're running for the fast break. So I'm starting to lean more towards, dude, this is really what we're going to be going to at least till the trade deadline, and we got to start making this stuff work. But what does that starting five look like? If you're going to start Pat Bev, which you traded for him, so you don't trade for a dude and then just, play him 15 minutes or bring him off the bench. But, if you start those two, now you've got to get some size in there. And if you start another five to try and get Anthony Davis to play the four and keep his body safe, now you got LeBron and AD and another center and two, small guys, 6'2", or I guess Westbrook's like 6'3", and I saw Pat Bev this summer at a camp. I stood next to him. I'm 6'3". He's under me, so he's a good 6'1", and I mean that's a really small backcourt. But you do have Anthony Davis, in a 4-out 1-in situation, stretching a big man out. But I just don't know how it works. It'll be very interesting to see. But hustle can take you a long ways. The Utah trade, I do really like the Utah trade as well. Again, I need you guys to comment down below. I actually just got another trade proposal, and I'll bring it up on the screen. Again, this is what I like doing. I like bringing up your comments. I'm building a platform for the audience, so always make sure you're tapping the subscribe button and commenting. James Robinson says the Lakers get Conley, Love, and Seti. The Cavs get Bogdanovich and Mitchell, and the Jazz get Sexton, Windler, Westbrook, 3 Cavs, 2 Lakers first. So now we're going to get Love back, which I do like Kevin Love. The dude can knock down threes. He already has that. If you watch those games, he was always in the right place, right? He was watching LeBron, and wherever LeBron was going cutting, he was getting to an open spot. He wasn't just standing there and looking. So he can knock down threes. This is a dude late in games that you can really trust in making a lot of shots. I think at this point of his life, he's probably going to accept a role. He doesn't need big minutes. In fact, if you watched him for the Cavs that first year, it was like 2 years ago, he was throwing fits. He was punching balls. He was done. He had this mental thought one day of you know what? I need to be a role player. The next season, he took the role on of just being a vet and a leader out there and not getting all the minutes, and the Cavs are one of the most ascending teams. So I don't know why the Cavs would really want to get rid of, Seti and Sexton and these dudes. They're a freaking good team. So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this trade of doing a 3-teamer now involving the Cleveland Cavaliers? But, you get a Conley, you get Love, you get Seti. That's a really good deep team. I think you do now have a 7 to 8 man rotation with Austin Reeves and Kendrick Nunn, who I think both of those players are going to be lights out this year. I love AR-15, another NBA white boy. I got to give him credit. And Nunn, I've done some videos on it. I think he's going to be one of the best players that we see, most ascending players. He can get buckets. I would way, if we're going to go a small backcourt, I'd way rather see Kendrick Nunn and Pat Bev, because Nunn can get you buckets all day long. He's very quick. He's very aggressive. And then Pat Bev can play that defensive role. So that's a backcourt I'd actually way rather see than Russell Westbrook, because with Nunn, he's going to be stretching defenses out. He can shoot from anywhere. He can catch and shoot, and he can dribble and get to the basket and finish. So again, guys, I love giving you guys a platform. Make sure you're commenting down below what you think. Are we going to go into this season with the exact roster we have? Is it going to be a trade with Utah? Is it going to be a trade with the Pacers? Or is there other trades out there that you believe can still happen, and I'll bring them up? I am your NBA white guy, talking all things hoops from a hooper's perspective. So make sure that you're tapping that subscribe button and you click the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. And until the next video, my homies, we'll catch you later.